Moby Dick was written by Herman Melville and first published in 1851. It is a classic American novel that tells the story of Ishmael, a sailor, and his journey on the whaling ship Pequod, captained by Ahab, in search of the elusive white whale Moby Dick. The book is split into 3 parts: etymology, extracts, and the whale. It is about obsession, revenge, and nature's power. The first part of the book, etymology, tells you about the story and the people in it. Ishmael, a former teacher, decides to go on a whaling trip to get away from his home country and see more of the world. He goes to find a ship to join when he gets to New Bedford, Massachusetts. After spending the night at an inn, he meets Queequeg, a harpooner from the South Pacific. The two become roommates and friends. They eventually join the Pequod, where they meet the rest of the crew, including Starbuck, the first mate, Stubb, the second mate, Flask, the third mate, and Captain Ahab, who is known to be a tough and mysterious man. The second part of the book, called Extracts, is made up of different scientific classifications, poems, and excerpts from other books that have to do with whales and whaling. These documents give background information about the topic and add to the themes of the book, which are man's relationship to nature and the power of the unknown. The Whale, the third part of the book, is the main part of the story. It tells about the Pequod's search for Moby Dick. Ahab is obsessed with the white whale and thinks it is a sign of evil. He wants to kill it no matter what, even if it puts the lives of his crew in danger. As the trip goes on, Ahab gets more and more crazy, and tensions among the crew rise. Along the way, the Pequod meets other whaling ships, and Ishmael thinks about how different people feel about whaling and the natural world. The crew also meets different sea creatures, like a group of sperm whales and a giant squid, which show how powerful and unpredictable nature is. As the Pequod gets closer to Moby Dick, the tension and feeling of dread grow. Ahab's obsession with the whale gets worse and worse, making the rest of the crew more and more afraid for their lives. The final showdown with Moby Dick is a scary and exciting battle in which Ahab dies and the Pequod is sunk. Ishmael is the only one who makes it out alive, and he is left on a raft that looks like a coffin. Eventually, another ship comes and saves him. Melville writes about obsession, revenge, and the power of nature all through the book. Ahab's obsession with Moby Dick is both his downfall and what makes the Pequod sink. His single-minded quest for revenge shows how dangerous it can be to let one's emotions take over completely. The book also shows how powerful and unpredictable nature is by having the crew meet different sea creatures and weather conditions that show how weak and insignificant they are compared to nature. Melville's use of language is also interesting because he uses a wide range of literary techniques, such as symbolism, metaphor, and allusion, to tell a story that is both rich and complicated. The epic scale and philosophical depth of the book have made it a classic of American literature and a timeless look at how people interact with the natural world. In the end, Moby Dick is a great piece of writing that explores complex ideas like obsession, revenge, and nature's power. In the extracts section, which is a unique part of the novel's structure, there are different literary and historical documents that help put the novel's themes in context and expand on them. Ahab is one of the most well-known characters in all of literature because his obsession with the white whale drives him crazy and, in the end, kills him. Melville's use of words and literary devices like symbolism and metaphor gives the story more depth and complexity. The novel is also a critique of the whaling industry and man's relationship with nature, since the crew's pursuit of the whale leads to destruction and death. Even though critics didn't like Moby Dick at first, it has become a classic of American literature and a testament to the power of the novel as a form of art. Its themes and characters still speak to people today, making it a timeless look at what it means to be human and how we relate to the natural world.